Thanks for coming, everybody. Sorry for a few second delay. We are very happy in this third concurrent block to welcome Emilie Burel and Anne Bretel on VPL reform in France. And we welcome them very much and look forward to the presentation. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We are come from France and Paris with the Olympics. We expect all play and win. So, my name is Emilie Burel, and I'm the managing director of the Université du Domicile. And this is Anne Bretel, in charge of training and VPL. We're delighted to be taking part in the VPL Biennale and to be able to contribute this year to the debate on VPL in relation to democracy. It's a subject that's particularly close to our hearts, given our 30 years commitment to training employees in the home care sector, which represent 3.2 million employers and over 1.5 million employees. This is a sector with a very high VPL potential, as the majority of employees have developed skills on the job without holding a diploma. Diplomas are a guarantee of professionalism and are increasingly in demand by employers in France. As they often come from immigrant backgrounds, they also have difficulty gaining access to certification. As you may know, the VPL system in France is undergoing major change. This has recently been reflected in a legislative reform that is profoundly modifying the system in which UDD has participated. This is why we have chosen the subscene, validation, and individual, which will be developed in 4 parts. You can see the 4 parts. And Anne, it's to you, the first exercise.
Yes, thank you. So before going any further, we will ask you 2 questions about the situation for VPL. So it's a quiz.
Yeah. And you can just...
Yeah. You will have the paper.
You can share each other.
So only 2 questions with different propositions, and you can select different shows.
It's okay.
As we're French, you know, English is not very easy for us. So you've got the paper, and we will present the question.
So, first question. What advantage does candidate-centered VPL offer? You have a few minutes just to...
You've got 5 propositions. The first proposition is reduced administration costs, or can be the B proposition, recognition of skill acquired outside the formal education system. The proposal, the C, it's exclusive access to recent graduates. Proposition D, evaluation based on diplomas only, or proposition E, lasting candidates commitment.
And the second question in the same page is, what is the key to placing the individual at the center of the VPL process?
So for this question, you've got also different propositions. So the A is standardize the VPL process for all individuals. Or the proposition B is focus only on formal education and certifications. Proposition C, tailor with the VPL process to meet the unique needs and objectives of everyone. And the last proposition for this question is limit recognition of learning to formal educational experiences.
And yeah. So we're running out of time, so the answer is...
So for the first question, you got two solutions. Yeah. And for the second question, there was only a proposition which is okay.
Bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
Bravo, bravo. Okay.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So, on the screen, you can find the key dates of the VPL in France and the innovative solutions that the UDD has experimented with over the last 20 years in the home employment sector. These have been considered by the government in 2023 for reforming the scheme.
So the VPL dates to the beginning of the 20th century with the validation of only one single diploma, the engineering diploma. Then 68 years later, in 2002, the French government authorized access to all diplomas via the VPL. Since then, the UDD, our company, has been introducing collective VPL, which is better suited to our employees in our sector. Then in 2016, UDD is testing hybrid VPL. This is a course combining VPL and training, which is different, such as, for example, French language for the migrant groups, for example. And in 2020, during the pandemic, we will be implementing 100% in remote VPL and to maintain validation activity. In 2022, at the government's request, we are experimenting with VPL by block. It's validation of part of a diploma, like micro-certification. Then we are testing the future national platform supported by the public services, the French public services. So in 2023, the new system will be confirmed by law. It guarantees simplified access for all and support focused on the individual. That year, UDD, so that year, the 2023, supported 100 candidates, drawing on its multimodal experience.
And in January 2024, the national VPL platform called France VAE was officially opened. With the new measures, we are witnessing a real democratization of VPL. It's a significant transition. Previously, it was the candidate who had to adapt to the VPL system. Now, it's the VPL system that's designed to adapt to the specific needs of each candidate. It's an evolution centered on the individual that underlines the adaptability of the VPL system to the users. Let's continue to the VPL evolution in 2025, and we start to think about VPL and artificial intelligence. UDD's expertise is based on an analysis of the difficulties encountered by VPL applicants. We have tested innovative solutions for each obstacle identified. The main objective is to facilitate access to the VPL and limit dropouts.
Among the main obstacles, we identified, first, the candidate's difficulty in committing to the process independently. In response, UDD tested group VPL. It encourages the sharing and valorization of experience, professional identification, and mutual support among participants. The second major difficulty is a lack of command of the spoken or written language. In this situation, we have tested hybrid VPL for migrants group, and they need reinforcement in the French language in particular. The third obstacle is linked to the isolation or unavailability of individuals in face-to-face situations. Distance VPL is a popular solution for people with professional constraints or who use digital tools. And the last obstacle concerns people with little experience, but who need certification. VPL by block, the equivalent of micro-certification, allow for gradual validation of skills.
These solutions are the new, more flexible and personalized forms of VPL, adopted in 2024 by the French Public Service. Our observation today: the more the VPL adapts to the profile and needs of the individual, the more the motivation and chance of success are reinforced.
Here are now the main stages of a candidate for VPL, now in 2024, validated by the French reform. Step number 1, the candidate registers on the national VPL portal, which name is France VAE. VAE, it's VPL in French. Step number 2, the candidate carries out a positioning interview with the Iperia course guide architect. It's a new player in the VPL system. This architect determines the training and support needs for the candidates in complying the experience validation file. Public funding covers until 70 hours of training and 50 hours of VPL support or VPL guidance. I've heard this word this morning. For the step 3, the candidate creates and submits his validation file. At this stage, we offer them multimodal support adapted to their needs, collective or individual support, face-to-face or remotely, digital assistant, etc., etc. The objective is being to mobilize the best option to reduce the risks of failure or abandonment. And the last step, with lots of stress for the candidate, is front of the jury. The candidate presents his file and speaks to this experience to be validated. According to the statistic, 80% of supported candidates obtain a diploma. The new system allowed the adaptation of the certification course to the candidates, projects, and constraints. It's added value for all stakeholders.
And let's now listen to 4 testimonies related to the validation individual substance linked to democracy and the power to act. So, the testimonial, please, the video.
Je m'appelle Audrey. Je m'appelle Marie.
Je suis chef ICA.
Je m'appelle Clarissa, je viens de Philippines. Je travaille en tant que garde d'enfants au domicile. Depuis 15 ans, j'ai travaillé déjà garde d'enfants depuis 97 sans papier.
J'ai 23 ans d'expérience dans l'emploi à domicile. Je suis assistante de vie dépendance.
Je suis assistante maternelle depuis 16 ans. Actuellement, je n'accueille pas d'enfants car j'ai un projet en cours.
Je suis garde d'enfants depuis 12 ans. J'ai passé ma VAE en 2023. Je suis certifiée assistante maternelle garde d'enfants.
Pour valider mon expérience,
pour me valoriser moi-même,
valoriser mes compétences,
pour valider l'expérience que j'ai acquise depuis ces 16 années,
pour avoir les certifications professionnelles,
valoriser mon travail et pouvoir présenter une certification aux parents employeurs.
Intense,
flexible,
bonne expérience,
enrichissant de parler avec d'autres ASMAT.
À un moment, j'ai failli abandonner. Je me suis dit non, pour une fois, tu vas aller au bout de ce que tu as commencé.
Le parcours était bien.
La VAE était facile pour moi. C'était remettre sur écrit tout ce que j'ai pu faire. C'était à mon propre rythme.
Collective et à distance.
Distanciel et individuel.
Collectif et présentiel.
Collective en distanciel. Collectif parce que je trouve que l'esprit de groupe, ça apporte beaucoup. En distanciel parce que chez moi, les moyens de transport sont un petit peu compliqués.
C'était plus pratique pour moi. On était autonome et on pouvait partager pendant les séances collectives ou par WhatsApp.
J'ai eu enfin confiance en moi et en mes compétences.
Me valoriser.
D'être aux normes vis-à-vis des demandes du marché.
Le moment que j'ai eu la certification, j'ai ressenti être un peu valorisée. Avec mon certification, c'était facile de retrouver un autre employeur, de négocier. Je suis très très fière, franchement.
Je suis certifiée, donc ça fait valoir mes vraies compétences. Je suis devenue une vraie professionnelle. D'un point de vue de mon réseau professionnel, j'incite mes collègues aussi à se former et à passer une certification pour pouvoir justement valoriser les compétences qu'elles ont et dire que c'est un vrai métier.
Ça a permis d'évoluer par rapport déjà aux parents, par rapport à la communication. Personnellement, la confiance en moi, exprimer mes sentiments.
Découvrir autre chose dans d'autres domaines et sur ma vie personnelle, le regard du côté familial. Cela me rend très très fière.
J'ai suivi la formation de membre du jury, je certifie mes collègues, je professionnalise le métier.
En tant que membre du jury, je contribue à mon tour à la reconnaissance des professionnels du secteur.
Monter une MAM pour ne plus être isolé en fait. Ça permettra aussi aux parents d'être en collectivité.
Je me suis engagée au conseil syndical, salarié particulier employeur, pour aider les membres qui ont des difficultés dans leur profession. L'association sanguine filipino est pour victimes d'esclavage moderne. Même moi-même, j'ai été et que je suis sortie. Le plus bas, sans papier, qui a eu les cartes de séjour. Et là, maintenant, je même peux voter. Et si j'y arrivais, il peut aussi.
Il faut croire en soi et faire la VPL.
Ça m'a changé la vie.
Pas hésiter, foncez.
Le résultat est inimaginable. Allez-y, toutes ces années que vous avez passées ne partent pas en vain et vous serez encore plus fiers avec votre titre.
Après tout ça, je voudrais remercier les VAE. J'ai repris mon dignité, reconnu professionnel à part entière. Mon salaire a été valorisé. J'ai toute la confiance en moi maintenant.
Ça nous permet de nous connaître nous-mêmes et d'aller au bout de ce qu'on est. Je n'ai pas dit que c'était que du bonheur tout le temps, mais c'est à la fin, c'est une vraie victoire sur soi. Il n'y a pas d'âge, on peut se former tout au long de la vie et que quand on a envie de quelque chose, il faut y aller et surtout pas hésiter.
C'est dur, c'est long, mais au final, on a ce qu'on mérite. Si tu te donnes à fond, tu peux tout réussir.
We can applaud them because they work a lot.
To share with our candidates is very important, so they are with us today.
For you.
Now, for a few minutes, we invite you to discuss among yourself the initial question. So you know that we have a short time, so it's very precise, 7 minutes. The lead question is, how does validation place the individual at the center for you? So perhaps this discussion, table by table, will give you a new issue and perhaps your future challenges. So I'll let you 7 minutes and then one sentence by table you can share with other people.
Let's share. C'est comment 5 minutes seulement. Parce qu'on est à 40.
Tu prends la moitié des tables. Ah oui, on prend avec le micro.
So just a few minutes. Maybe just 1 minute. It's okay.
5,
yes.
4, 3, 2, 1. That's okay. Who wants to share the sentence? You have your sentence with the team?
I don't even know if it's really a sentence, but oh, thank you. We spoke to the importance of VPL as to put the individual at the center because it's a process of discovery, and they can see how the skills related to wherever their experience is from is related to other fields, is related to other opportunities for them in the future. So that's how we see how validation puts the individual at the center, because it's about them and their exploration.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Merci.
Well, we were saying that the individual should be at the centre of validation because it's their individual learning. They're not learning by rote, they're not sitting an exam that everybody else is sitting. However, in order for them to be really at the centre, they need to be well advised and supported in the validation process. And also those who are assessing them needs to put the learner at the centre of the process also, rather than be too confined and restricted by so-called procedures, policies, etc.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emilie, we have time for another sentence?
Yes, we have.
That's okay. Who want to share? Yeah.
Hi. The future challenges, we were thinking about that. And of course, we agree on the individual in the center, which is Sweden and Iceland. We have practicing in some way that way. But it's always about flexibility for the individual. And on the other side is the quality and the trust of the results. So it can be challenging to mix flexibility with quality in action.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have time for another share.
Thank you.
Another table. Another table?
Yeah.
Actually, we didn't have the time to discuss, but then I take the opportunity to say something, because I think as the individual at the center is so important that you have what's the next step, and it has to be at an individual pathway, not so. I think yes for the validation, but the next procedure is very important. So just a reflection.
Yeah, totally agree.
So thank you. Thank
you very much for the sharing.
Thank you for your contribution. In conclusion, your contributions have highlighted the importance of an individual-centered approach of the essential conditions to achieve it. Like you, we are firmly convinced that VPL is a tool at the service of democracy when it gives each of individuals the means to guide their career and their learning path through a process which recognizes lifelong learning. This is how the reciprocal relationship between VPL and democracy can be reinforced. So once again, thank you everyone for participating for the session. And if you have some questions, we can speak outside. In French or in English?
Was, I think, after the interview, feedback. Could you maybe talk a little bit about step 5 in your process, please?
This one. Posturing.
So we've got Iperia, which is in the room, and they will make a presentation. In the other room, the Max Kirby 3, not after, but after. At what time? So I will not, so you will have the answer. If the person wants to go and see, they will explain it.
They are in the front of the room. They are in the front of the room if you want to.
Yeah, it's just nearby.
Okay.
Is there a charge or a cost for learners to register on the
No,
course?
no. It's totally a public financial and sector funding. So before, in 2023, it was sector funding, and now you've got public funding, and we've got a part which is, for example, if they need to take their car to go to the place to have the guidance, they will have a refunding by the sector. Okay?
Thank you. Okay. So.
I have one question.
Oh, okay.
I'm interested in what kind of support is actually provided by the institution for students, for example, who would find it very difficult to prepare a file.
We make special learning for different person, and it's basically it's a person who is teacher, but for us it's different to be a teacher and to be a supporter. I don't know, we can say supporter. So we've got a special course for this, to have quality and to have person who know how is the difference between teaching and support VPL person. It's very different.